So your business needs a little bit of help with IT, but what are managed IT services? You've come across 101 different companies who offer it, but what are those services? And more importantly, how do they benefit you? I'm Shayne with LeeShanok Network Solutions, and today we're going to be taking a look at what are managed IT services. At the highest levels, managed IT is really easy to understand. You hire an external IT company to provide some or all of the IT services that your business needs. Where it starts to get tricky is the distinction between the different types of external IT support. Managed IT is different from break-fix, where break-fix is something breaks, you call an IT person, they come and fix it. It's also different than outsourced IT. The word outsourced conjures up images of massive call centers. Maybe they're not even located in the same country. Managed IT is a relationship typically with a local or regional provider. A managed IT agreement is a long-term agreement between you and the IT provider, and that way everyone benefits because you know them, they know you, and it's an ongoing support relationship. Well, all that's great, but what are managed IT services? What services are included, and how does an agreement even work? That's what we're going to take a look at today. Let's start with how it works. You find a managed IT provider, you really like them, so you sign a managed services agreement, or MSA. Inside that document, it spells out exactly what services the managed service provider, or MSP, will perform, exactly what your responsibilities are, and the monthly fee for those services. These are the 7 most common services offered under a managed services agreement. Is this an exhaustive list? Absolutely not. The number of potential services you might get from a managed IT company is way too long to list in this video, but these are the most common services that we've seen in our 25 years in business. Network design and administration is the catch-all term for taking care of all of the devices that are on your network. These are your servers, your firewalls, your end-user PCs. Anything that connects to your digital assets is going to be covered under a good MSA. Monitoring and maintenance is huge in a managed services agreement. It's the routine updating, fixing, troubleshooting. Whenever something goes a little bit askew, the IT person is there to take care of it and make sure that small problems don't become bigger problems down the line. This routine monitoring and maintenance is really critical. It's a key differentiator between a managed IT support agreement and some other type like a break-fix agreement or a less involved relationship. IT security is critical in today's environment. Ransomware is hitting businesses left and right, so a good managed IT provider is going to be offering security in everything that they do. What does that look like? It's making sure that your technology is in place and up to date, so you have the right firewalls, they're being properly maintained. It's also providing education to your employees to make sure that they know security best practices. A good managed IT provider should also be able to monitor and respond to any threats detected in your network. All of those together work to keep your network secure in the way that it needs to be. Another common managed IT service is data backup and disaster recovery. A good managed IT provider is going to make sure you have the right format, the right storage, the right capability for your backup process. And on the disaster recovery side, they're also going to make sure that your downtime is minimal. So when something bad happens, and something bad always happens, you're not left out in the cold. You can get back up and running, sometimes in just a matter of seconds or minutes, depending on what solution that you go with. Your managed IT solution can also include your business communication technologies. So this would be your VoIP phone systems or maybe your video conferencing solutions like Zoom or WebEx or whatever you're using for that video conferencing. This is especially important in the work from home era that we're all in. With VoIP phones, even picking a provider is a huge hassle. There are so many different manufacturers, so many different VoIP providers, that it's really hard to know which ones are reliable and which ones are the right fit for your business, the size of your business, the features that you need. A managed IT provider is going to help you first select one, then install one, and then support one. On the video conferencing side, it's a similar situation. A lot of the big names are reliable providers, but where they really differ is in those nuanced features and those license capabilities. That's really important when you're trying to decide, okay, how many people do I need on these calls? What does my license allow? A managed IT provider is going to help you select those and then again, support it throughout the life of that technology. Helpdesk support is probably the most commonly associated service with IT. After all, what do most employees do when they have a problem with their computer? They submit a ticket to the IT help desk and they help them. What separates a good managed IT provider from a great managed IT provider can often be found in the level of service from the help desk. Most IT help desks can do the basics. They can expertly reset passwords and troubleshoot computers that are acting weird. But what you really want is an IT help desk that treats people like people. They're friendly when they call in. They don't talk down to users for not knowing how to do something. These are common traps that a lot of IT help desks fall into. What you really want to look for in your managed IT provider is a friendly IT help desk that employees aren't going to dread reaching out to whenever they have a problem. The last common managed IT service that we're going to look at is cloud management. Now, lately it seems like everybody's migrating to the cloud because everybody else is migrating to the cloud. They're not really taking a second to identify the pros and cons of that migration. There's benefits, there's also drawbacks. Working with a managed IT provider who understands the pros and cons of cloud migrations is really important to make sure that you get set up appropriately from the outset. And if you're already on the cloud, working with someone who knows what they're doing can be the difference between paying the right amount or way too much because you weren't set up optimally. Your managed IT provider might also have their own private cloud environment. We have our own data center where we host clients who don't want to be on a public cloud like AWS or Azure, but we also support clients who are moving to a public cloud. We also support clients who are completely 100% on-premises only. Really, it boils down to finding a managed IT provider who can meet you where you are right now and also support your growth if a cloud migration is in your future. So what do you think? Do you have a better idea of what managed IT services are commonly offered? Did I miss anything? I definitely didn't cover every single service. So if there's something that you want to hear us talk about more, let us know in the comments. We're trying to grow this channel, so if this is valuable to you, please subscribe, like the video if you liked it. And until next time, I'm Shayne with LeeShanok Network Solutions. We'll see you next time.